Welcome to the SK1 show. Alright, y'all. We up at episode 19. Over here, I'm coming back at the long break. I mean, a real long break. YouTube channel over there is dry like a mug because I haven't uploaded nothing from this part for a long little length of time. For those that heard SK1 News, or y'all already know the situation over here, so I went ahead to re-say it over here because what I put on SK1 News, I also shared over here. This was deep. I should have also said it to the YouTube channel, but it really was for SK1 News, so that is the YouTube channel is attached to that, and I would have had it for places was as though I wasn't prepped for an episode to go on that YouTube channel over there. This is the first initial official episode of the SK1 show at some months into this. I'm not gonna be bringing a major topic of no particular artist today. Because there's a lot going on in the industry. Ever since this whole little thing with the Diddy situation, and a lot of people just coming out with a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff I just wouldn't understand the stuff they coming out with. But I'm gonna say this. The game has been real weird. The people in the game, if they wasn't already weird, they just showing how weird they really are. A lot of people are being quiet on a lot of stuff, or they opening their mouth on a lot of stuff. The thing that was like a little crazy was Young Noble. God rest his soul. Actually, when my wife was on her last days, I did a segment on talking about Young Noble, and this was in video form. Matter of fact, I was cleared from it, but my wife needed me that night, and I never got a chance to really finish that particular episode. I didn't know whether I was going to place it on SK1 News or was I going to place it here, because it could have went either or, that particular topic of talking about Young Noble. God rest his soul. You never know how much mental health can be on somebody's mind, though. I do know when he was on, what is that YouTuber name? The Art of Dialogue. I do know that he expressed a lot of stuff he been going through. And he looked like he was painting in tears and stuff like that. Like a lot of stuff was going on as he was talking. He got real emotional. Even after he started talking about Tupac, he got a little emotional, and I used to always, every year, come around all the way up until this time, look for a new video of Noble coming out. Every time Noble release, I will always click on one of his videos because, you know, I still was rocking the Noble, you know, and when I heard about his passing, it like was real sad, you know, because one of the last outlaws, keeping the outlaw name alive, helping the outlaw until him and Edie just decide that, hey, you know, they gonna move on from it because Noble wanted to drop himself from the outlaws. The last of it, I heard, and they did their final, you know, concert. I remember the beginning of the year though, Noble dropped this diss song on Nas, and he killed it. I mean, boy, you know, I was waiting on a Nas response because I wanted to see what Noble had to bring again. It was something good because when you go and you listen to hip hop, this is what you get, you know, and we expect this stuff. You know, sometimes a good battle can be a good battle. It all depends on how that battle go. You know, I don't think it would have been on no violent mess. Nas don't put me as a person that will, you know, take it that far. I don't know about Noble, but Nas don't seem like he would have took it down. I don't know if he would have really, but I don't think it would have pushed to that level where it did with Big and Pop. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it would have been that much. Noble from Jersey and Nas from Queens. So when you put them two on a battlefield, you know, and like I said, Noble killed Nas in that. You know, I would have loved to see what Nas would have had to say on that one, but Noble killed him on that one. But there goes a time where, as though, after that all the dialogue interview, you slowly stop hearing from Noble. I remember when him and this other fellow brother from the Outlaws went neck to neck, and that's Napoleon. Him and Napoleon had words because Napoleon didn't feel like, you know, Noble was telling the full truth on what happened at a particular time about the little Nas thing. Napoleon felt like you know, a lot of stuff was made up, and then you know, when Gaddafi got killed a week after Tupac died, getting killed, and it was, well, in words of their words, I'm not gonna say alleged because they spoke it out their own mouth. They said it out their own mouth. It was Napoleon's cousin that accidentally shot Gaddafi, and Gaddafi had died. You know, they said it was a mistake. He accidentally did it. And I think ever since then, Noble and Napoleon had, you know, their difference. Because Noble felt like if it wasn't for Gaddafi, a cousin, Napoleon cousin killing Gaddafi, then Gaddafi still would have been still around. Y'all know that Gaddafi was Tupac half brother, and you know, it was crazy. Fatal had already left the group before Pac died. There was a lot of stuff going on with Fatal around that time. And you just had Castro, Idi Amin, Napoleon, and Noble, the four members. I don't know what happened to Storm. I haven't seen Storm a part of the team in a while. She ripped it. And you know, it's crazy because, you know, after following Pac for years, you know, these outlaws had always kept his name going. They kept his legacy going. And, you know, just hearing that you lost Pac in 96, turned around and lost Gaddafi in 96, and then a few years down the line, you turn around and you lose Fatal in a car accident. You know, and then that was in 2016-17 when Fatal died in a car accident. And the Outlaws just got back together. The only one that wasn't back with him yet was Castro. And then it was just Edie and Noble. Napoleon became a Muslim. So as him becoming a Muslim, he didn't want no more part of that. You know, and you just had Edie and then you had Napoleon. You had Edie and then you had Noble. And they remained the remaining two of the Outlaws. But I just sit up here and I just, you know, viewing on a lot of this whole outlaw thing. And I just I don't, you know, understand. You know, just hearing them interviews, and you know, Napoleon was on the Art of Dialogue too. Edie got his own podcast, but he also go on other different interviews too. And yeah, I just felt as though I just had to bring that up because I just want to say this to Noble. I want to take a moment of silence for him, and then I also want to take a moment of silence for my wife, because right after he offed himself, my wife died like a week after or two at the Noble offed himself. So I want to take a moment of silence for Noble and my wife. Alright, y'all. So, you know, big up to Noble, respected outlaw, kept Tupac name alive, and kept the legacy of the Outlaws going. Remaining members are Noble, Napoleon, Edie, and Castro, and I don't even know if Storm's still a part of it. Yeah. And oh yeah, I can't leave out Marva. Yeah, Marva, she was another part of Tupac putting together his little team and stuff. He's another Tupac artist, you know, official part, you know, Outlaws. So you can't leave out Marva. You gotta also stole her name, and I don't know what she doing now these days. And I like I said, I haven't heard anything about Storm in a while. But I do think Marva she did do a couple of interviews. She also, I think she was on Web TV the other dialogue. She was on one of the two of them. So big up to the Outlaws. Rest in peace, Pac. Rest in peace, Gaddafi. Rest in peace, Fatal. And rest in peace, Noble. You know. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'll be back. See y'all when I come back. All right.
The Outlaws were just functioning as you and Young Noble, right? You guys were like the only
Correct.
performers.
Correct.
When is your
Yes.
when was your last show or last, function as a group?
Our last show was late last year, November, early November. Yeah, November time in Phoenix, Arizona.
Did it feel like it was going to be a send off? Did it feel like, something out of the ordinary? Did you sense that something was off in the with the vibes?
I didn't really sense something being off, but I knew, it was getting to a point where it was time for us to start exploring other interests, and I've been writing and doing some other things creatively that I wanted to do, and Noah was always dropping, stellar music, classic music. But it did kind of feel like I don't know why, but it did kind of feel like that would be our last show, at least for now, for the foreseeable future. I was trying to encourage him to take a break, actually, because he had just lost his mom, and so when we would talk, I would be like, "Look, man, we don't even need to worry about music or shows or anything like that for now. You need to heal."
When was the last time you did talk to him?
The last time we spoke was a couple of weeks ago.
Nothing out of the ordinary, no signs.
Um, Not really, but I do know he had been grieving the loss of his mother, and it was the 1 year anniversary of her passing on July 1st.
I mean, would you say, giving, even with his depression, were you still surprised that it got to this point?
Yeah, I was shocked. I never saw this coming. I never saw this coming, and I would gather that no one ever does. He was one of the most positive people that I personally had in my life. Even when I would be going through things, and we all go through things in life. It's always good to have that friend, that comrade with a positive word and positive energy. And he was always that for me. And now that he's passed, I'm learning a multitude of others. Like he was a go-to person for a positive word, or if you needed, what I'm saying, a reason to keep going. A lot of people went to Noble and spoke to Noble, so he was that strong friend. You know what I mean? It sounds cliche. It's I guess that's why they say check on your strong friends, because those are the ones that are used to being strong for everybody else, and they may think in their mind when it's time for them to need support, nobody's there for them. I guess having the wherewithal to say I am in distress right now. I am hurting. I am grieving. I am needing somebody to talk to.
Circling back to funeral arrangements, are you guys starting to plan? Are you working closely with the family? Is this a Rufus thing, or is this a Young Noble thing?
This is his wife and children thing, and they're gonna make that decision when they're ready. And if they choose to let the world know that, then we'll all know about it. If they choose to make it on more private, I ask that everybody, the fans, the friends, respect that, and do your best to honor Noble in your own special way.
Welcome back to the SK1 show. I ain't say them words in a while. Anyway, you know, y'all know what this show right here is all about. It's about music. Alright, y'all. So, I could share with y'all over here more than what I could share with y'all on the SK1 News, what I'm doing right now, because, you know, this is a part of my life. My wife want me to do this, you know, and I know she do. I am working on a project, which is though the last project I was supposed to do a little over a year ago had to be placed on hold. Now y'all see why I was placed on hold. Instead of doing that particular project, I gotta change plans. I wasn't fully into production mode because I'm still considered as a retired artist. You know, at that time, I maybe was going to release a couple of singles and try to get the album going. And, you know, I wasn't going to go in it as much as I'm getting ready to do now. I am out of retirement, as into when I said I was going to be out of retirement, and that could have been on the 25th. Aaliyah, rest your soul, God bless your soul. Normally, I will, you know, normally I do stuff, you know, around the time that Aaliyah date. You know what I'm saying? I always honor Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Aaliyah. But anyway, on today's date that y'all hear this podcast show, I'm going to be introducing y'all to my album. I did say my album. My official album. That's me coming out of retirement. I am getting ready to fully go back into this, how I did it when I first did it. But this time, I'm going to do it in a way that it should have been always done. I'm going to honor these words. And I'm going to do just what my wife asked me to do. I don't know how long I'm going to be out of retirement. I will soon go back into retirement. But right now, I'm ready to rip through the doors of this. My project is going to be called Pain Hurts Deep. Pain Hurt Deep. And I'm only doing this because I feel the pain and it cut hard. It cut so hard that I got no other choice but to relieve this pain. And on this project, I'm going to be using 90% of my own music. Maybe 90%. Probably, okay, 50%. Because I might go somewhere else and find another beat, you know, and see how. So it's going to be half of what I produce into my music. But I'm gonna produce my whole album. I'm gonna produce my own album. You know, I'm gonna put this project together. And I could do an LP, or I could do an EP, or I could do an EP and then advance it to a LP. You see what I'm saying? So, Hurt and Tears is all in this. Hurt and Tears is all in this. Pretty much, I want to say this. The SK1 brand is only becoming to what it's going to become. And I had no other choice but to fully take over the game right now. I'm ready to take over the game. I'm ready to bring the storytelling where it should have been at a long time ago. I'm ready to share everything that I got, and I'm ready to give my all of my all that I got. And I'm going to complete this album with a bunch of thoughts. Probably making other people smile, because whatever I'm facing, they could be facing. Y'all know I do a little fun songs too. That's still part of what I do, but it's not about that. It's about what the name of the album is called. And once I get it set and it get done, we gonna do a release party. And gonna push it. I'm gonna push it hard, because I feel like it's my time. The game been calling me for a long while. I didn't know it. I've been doing it. But I never was at a level like this. Never thought I would be talking in 2025 about pushing this. I was more about pushing my podcast show than pushing my music. I said I want to leave the game alone, because the game is a lot different out here. You got, these young rappers that want to sound alike. And back in the day, we used to call that biting. People biting out each other. I said, I ain't no competing for me. I can't go against these old young dudes and stuff like that with their music. It's kicking off every daggone way. You know what I'm saying? It's getting played on every radio station. But then I always remember, I never was that dude that followed a radio station. I used to always say they wouldn't play my stuff on the radio station. And my music, I said that. Because of the kind of music that I was presenting. I wasn't of their music. So, I say that to say this. We make things a lot clear on what we're going to make clear. But at the same time, we held back nothing. And in this game, we gain respect. That's what we do. So, with this album, yeah, we will stand on business on this project. And you would never hear Making It Happen how you heard Making It Happen before. Yeah. I'm proud to present this. I will get into further talk of this. I will get into the first single when I put it together. Y'all will be the first to hear it before it even get aired anywhere else. I will definitely share that with y'all on this podcast show. For those that follow me for a long time, know that I will share my music. I shared prayer on here before let me not lie. I put prayer on TikTok. And TikTok the one that made me put prayer as a single, because it was getting so many plays over there, so much love, and that's why I pushed prayer. So I put prayer over there, and it got so many, it got so much love that I had to put the finished version of the store version onto this show, and then y'all got to hear it before it got out, the finished project of it. See, TikTok only got like the beginning part of it, but I guess my equipment was so good that the quality still sounded good, but I had to put my finishing touch on there before I can put it out. You can't put nothing out that the quality just don't sound good. And that's what I'm working on now. I'm working on building. And yes, I won't be doing this by myself. It's only the beginning. But one day at a time. I'm still grieving over my wife, so one day at a time. But at the same time, this will be my therapy right here. This will be my therapy. She talking to me now. She said, let's do it. So I'm going to do it. On that note, I'll be back. Last segment.
When I never meant to do you wrong. Damn. And I know it's all my fault. When you miss somebody, that's so crazy. If I could turn back that hand of time, if I could, I would. And if I can, well, I would. Damn. That dark cloud keeps circling around me, feeling like I'm going down. Each day that I get on my knees and I pray and I think about you so much. And I miss the way that we used to touch, and I miss the way that we used to talk. Hey, I miss all that. I can't stop thinking about you no matter what. And I don't even care any circumstances. The way that we used to do this romance shit, in the way that it was, I understood a lot of things, but I can't sit up here and keep on thinking about this pain. I don't even know why you keep on crossing my head, crossing my mind. I won't waste no time, because if I can make this work, I'll make it work. And sometimes I know some things that hurt. That's why I'm doing this a lot. And I miss that little spot we used to chill out and be together. And that's why I'm here. I've been trying to find somebody different, been trying to understand somebody different, something missing. And I think what's missing is you. Damn. If I could tell you this one time, I would give you that one last kiss. If I could tell you this one time, I would give you that one last kiss. If I could tell you this one time, I would give you that one last kiss. If I could tell you this one time, I would give you this last kiss. My heart don't continue, because I feel like a window that closed and open back up. And in my life, do a nigga really give a fuck? But my luck is up and my time is gone, and my time ain't right, and my time tonight. And I miss them nights that we used to chill. Oh my goodness, to keep you warm, that's what I did. It's something else. It's something else going on. I can't stop. But if I could just have this one day, one pain, one time, one line, and that's all I need to give you. This last kiss is coming from me to you. Something so deep, so true. In words, girl, I love you, love you. If I can just take this one time and just give just one last kiss, last kiss, last kiss, last kiss.
Alright, y'all, this is the last segment. And the last it will be. I got one more episode left after this. I will be wrapping this season up. And I will be coming back with season 2 as soon as you can snap your finger. Don't snap your finger right now. No, but anyway, I am getting ready to close out this season. Normally I give a recap. Should give a recap, and then I don't know yet. Should I give a recap? I thought I gave a recap. I probably did already. Anyway, if I did do a recap, I'm about to close it out any daggone way. I was supposed to close it out in December, but we went over to January and I never got a chance to finish this season. So, and this season got more episodes than the SK1 News. You know, the SK1 News didn't have that many episodes. So, yeah, I just closed that, which was like season 6? No, season 5. They didn't have that many episodes. This show actually had more episodes than the SK1 News. At least I think it did. I don't know. I gotta go back to last season and see that. But anyway, with all that being said, I am gonna start Pod Guide. I know y'all been probably seeing that on YouTube, Spotify, you know, in between my last shows I've been working on. I also will promote it over here. I also will promote my album over here, and I also will promote what's coming in days over here. Yes, podcast is another form, a thing that I do on Making It Happen. Is a part of Making It Happen brand. It's a part of the SK1 brand. It's a part of what we do. You know, I can't wait to do Pod Guide because it was something so special. I sat down and I talked to my best friend, and we, you know, well, at first it was me, my wife, and my best friend, and we watched these TV shows, and we always come together, and my best friend always liked talking to my wife, you know, about the shows, and they both, you know, chop it up about some of them shows and stuff like that. I touch bases in on there with them, you know, but it was always good that, you know, we came together and talked about these TV shows and movies that came out and stuff like that. So what this show is going to bring that TV show way of things or movie way of things, and we going to have fun with it. We going to also we going to make the best fun out of it. Just put it to you like that. You know, maybe quiz questions or something like that, or top questions and stuff like that. And you know, prize edition. You know, this show gonna definitely have the prize edition effect to it. And what was the thing that pissed you off? on the episode. You know what I'm saying? If y'all watch these episodes, like, we gonna bring fun to not only y'all watching the shows, we gonna bring fun to the shows, period. You know what I'm saying? And this is not for anything else than what it is. So on that note, I want y'all to enjoy. I want y'all to enjoy the SK1 show. I want y'all to enjoy the SK1 News show. And I want y'all to enjoy Pie Guide. I did mention day by day. Me and Kim gonna sit down and have a discussion on that. She's eager. She wants to resume the show. She wants to get the show back. But like I told her, I will have to rebrand the show and create another way of it. And I'm really thinking heavy about releasing it at a time. I don't know when. I don't know a date. I don't know anything right now as far as day by day. You know what I'm saying? To those of y'all that didn't get the chance to experience that show, that was one of the very first podcast shows that I ever brought onto the platform. It was one of the first shows that made me get into podcasts until I had to, after the pandemic, I had to branch off and do my own thing because of the pandemic. So we left off with 8 episodes, and I think the episode I did over there about Tamar Braxton was one of the last episodes I did as an update episode, and we never completed the season. So I would call episode 8 as the last episode on Day by Day. I will use the same format not the same format, because things are different today. And when we first did it, it was Anchor. Anchor, matter of fact, it was Anchor at its beginning. You listen to that show, you could tell that was Anchor at its beginning. Me going to do Anchor the whole time, boy, that experience, I love Anchor though. I wish it was still set in Anchor way. Then I wouldn't have to be doing this on this cell phone right now. You can tell I'm doing my thing on a cell phone, which is doing Anchor. I was doing it on the cell phone, so but Anchor got a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Until Anchor went on and let Spotify had their way with it. I did like that playlist feature. That was my most favorite part. I used to like putting them playlists together. I still put playlists together, but I can't play them on this show no more. I get sued. But I can play my own music. But I get sued if I play somebody else's. I miss having that privilege. A license to play music and won't have to get in trouble of playing it, and they only allowed you to play but so many songs, but you could play them and still get away with it. Give me that feature back. No, that was good. It was good. It was good for the timing and the season that it was in. And that's one thing about rebuilding a brand. Like, you can have a brand, and then I think that particular show was before its time. You know what I'm saying? I really do. A lot of stuff I think I did was before its time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way that I created it and did it. Big up to Patrice. I remember when me and Patrice first thought about doing it as far as Christmas episode, and we was gonna put Christmas music into it. Uncut Convo was gonna be that show that we didn't fully make it a playlist show, but we was gonna every now and then do, you know, something playlist, and but I miss Uncut Convo. Circumstances though, things came up, this is just like, I don't think we can bring that one back, but we can bring Day by Day back. We can, we can. I don't know too much about Uncombo right now. I ain't even gonna talk that one, you know what I'm saying? But I will talk Day by Day, you know what I'm saying? And Pie Guide is the upcoming show that I'm bringing to this whole thing, and we gonna do this. Nelly been ready. I've been ready. You know what I'm saying? And make sure the equipment good though. I'm not trying to do none of this stuff and I don't got the right equipment. See, the SK1 show and SK1 news show format is already been created in format. You know what I'm saying? The way that I'm doing it now, and I've been doing it forever when I was doing this, so I can do it this way. You know what I'm saying? I could go back and do it a certain way, because if you go season to season, you will see that the same format that you're seeing today has always been that format. You know what I'm saying? But you got another way of seeing it in the format. But Riverside is just like, it lags. And if you don't got the right kind of, system going on with Riverside, it'll lag more. And I don't think Windows is best for Riverside. I think that Apple is the way to go with Riverside. Definitely when you doing this kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I will have professional cameras. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to invest into, a professional camera to do video. I might have to hire a camera person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to set everything up. So big up in the SK1 way of things. I just felt like I wanted to talk to y'all today. This is what we do over on the SK1 show, boy. We talk. I just want to talk to y'all. I don't do too much of that on SK1 News. I talk to y'all, but I go straight in the news. Straight in the news. Over here on the SK1 show, I give y'all it all. I would talk. I would talk. No big topic today. It's just me sharing what's going on, me sending my respect out to the outlaws, and rest in peace, Young Noble, one of my favorite outlaws, you know what I'm saying, kept Pac name alive. Not to say Edie still keep Pac name alive, but yeah, we gonna miss you, Young Noble, you know what I'm saying. Until the next time, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Y'all enjoy your day. As God placed me in good spirits. Jamala said had good spirits. I'm still hurting over her right now. She know it. I miss that girl. I miss her, boy. I swear I do. But she want me to be happy. So I'm in my happy space right now, and this is what I'm going to do. This will make me happy, talking to y'all, doing this podcast. And I'm glad I could be able to bring the SK1 things instead of the SK1 news of things. It's too much news going on. But right now, I didn't want to do no news today. And I may come back on another episode over here. The first episode in a while, y'all. The first episode in a while. The first in a month of August, towards the end of August, going into September. Wow. And then we gonna jump into season 2 soon. See y'all when I come back on the SK1 show.